Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Stormworks. We are once again back working on our flying carrier, and today we are going to be doing a bunch of detailing down here in this kind of maintenance bay area, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's pretty much the majority of what we're going to do. A lot of kind of random little detailing here or there. We are going to get into some plumbing today. So this aircraft, like most things that I build, will have realistic plumbing. So we will get into that a little bit today. Not too much, but yeah, that's more or less the plan for today. Nothing too crazy, just doing some general detailing, and after that, in the next coming episodes, we will take it upstairs a little bit. We'll start working on the interior of the aircraft a little bit more. But yeah, guys, that's the plan. And if you guys haven't seen, we do have a building challenge going on for this aircraft. I was just kind of talking about the dates, so there will be a date released soon. I am still kind of working that out, but there is a separate role in our Discord now. If you guys haven't seen that, definitely check out. There will be a link down below to the Discord. We have a Discord where we have multiple chats for the building challenge. That's where all the submissions go, that kind of thing. So if you guys haven't seen that and you want to, participate, maybe make some friends, play some Stormworks, that kind of thing, good place to kind of hang out. But anyways, the challenges or the details for that is in the Discord. I will make an announcement on the YouTube for the build challenge due date, but it will be better for you to just be in the Discord, obviously. So keep your eyes out for that. I will release details on that probably in the next few days, but I'm just trying to more or less finalize a date with the mods and a few other people. I like to get your guys' input as to how long you need, that kind of thing. So it probably will be a few weeks out still, guys. But yeah, I'll try to let you know more about that when I know more. But enough of that. I am just kind of yapping on about nonsense right now. Down here is our service bay, and right around here, I want to get some fluid tanks in. So I want to get a freshwater tank in, and I want to get a black water tank in. And kind of weird how we're going to place these, but I'm just going to have them go straight up through the floor, and we'll have like another little service cargo area up above. It'll make more sense down the road when you guys see the aircraft carrier a little bit more put together. But yeah, that's kind of what this blue tank is going to be, our freshwater, obviously. And then I'm going to make a black tank that is a very similar size for the black/gray water. And if you are not familiar with water terms, that would be like the dirty sink water, the poo-poo water, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what we're working on now. I am going to get right into the time-lapse. We have got quite a lot of stuff to do in this one, and I don't really want it to be a 30-minute video, so we're going to get into the time-lapse. I will catch you guys in just a moment. All right, well, we basically just put 2 water tanks in. That's about it, but that's all right. I needed to get this done too. I went ahead off camera and I also added in some fluid air vents so the tanks can relieve the air pressure. Very important. But anyways, other than that, you guys just kind of saw me do some general detailing. I had a player sensor. I hooked up a bunch of lights. There is that little fuel screen that you guys saw in the last episode. That is still there, and the rest of this is just going to be me just kind of going around down here in this service bay and trying to make this look good. What is kind of funny, and this is a kind of current battle with the carrier, is you see me playing with paint blocks right now. These paint blocks will probably disappear. I'm really fighting to keep this file size under 14 megabytes just so you guys don't have to mission spawn this. Currently, we are still under 10 megabytes, so it's not the end of the world, but I have to do a lot of logic still in the interior. The ship isn't done, so I'm trying to basically avoid things like paint blocks at all cost. They're not even hooked up correctly there, as you guys can see. So basically, the reason I'm telling you this is because you're going to see me play around a bunch with paint blocks, that kind of thing, as we build this ship, and then one episode, they're just not going to be there. That is because I basically went through the entire ship and I just deleted all of them because I'm trying to save on the file size first and foremost. That way you guys can still spawn this. I know you'll have to have the modded workbench mod on, but you can still spawn it. And that's just from the workbench. So I don't want you to have to use the mission spawner. I know some of you probably will just because you don't have the modded workbench, but if you have the modded workbench, there is a likelihood that you could spawn this in a career world. I don't really know how that works. I could be wrong. If I am, let me know. But to my knowledge, it should still be spawnable in like a career world. And I want that to be the case so you guys can use this in like search and destroy campaigns or, your normal career campaigns in this game. So that is the current struggle with the ship. I think we're at like 9.5 megabytes, but we do have a good chunk of the blocks done, but the detailing, that is always a little rough. So I am trying to figure out a lot of that. I think the next step really would be for me, I think we're going to go ahead and try to do a lot of the logic soon, just so I can make sure that really the ship is done or the plane is done and working. The rest really would just be, space we have to decorate and have fun with. So I think that's the next step. Right now, you guys will see I am doing a water heater in the background. Why? Because I overcomplicate everything. Don't do things like I do, guys. But going back to what I was saying, so right now where the plane currently sits is we have, I think, 12 bunks, something like that, 12 bunks, and the interior layout is mostly there. The cargo bay is kind of decorated. All the hard points work correctly. I do have an altitude hold. I do have a auto throttle, that kind of thing. Don't have any of the navigation stuff in yet. Don't really have any Lewis screens in yet. Probably going to go pretty analog with the cockpit, and I guess this is something you guys could give me input on. I think I might go pretty analog with the cockpit, like old school dials, that kind of thing. Just because, well, this is a nuclear capable or an EMP capable bomber, so that logically makes a lot more sense that it would have mechanical backups. But on top of that, it's going to be a lot less laggy if I do a lot more mechanical gauges. And I know it's kind of weird. It's kind of strange for the theming. I still will probably have a screen or two in there. I'm not saying, we're going back to World War II. I'm just saying, I might for the engines and stuff like that. I don't think I'm going to go down the route of doing MFDs, which is kind of strange, but that is really where we're at. So I think I want to do that. If you guys absolutely hate that idea, let me know. But I think for the time being, I do want to, more or less have dedicated dials for the fuel and the engines and a lot of the engineering stuff, and then maybe have one screen that is, your artificial horizon, your navigation stuff, that kind of thing. But I don't know if I really want to get into the MFDs and do custom screens. That is not going to be great for the file size. So that is kind of the other main concern here. So I guess if you guys have any thoughts on that, let me know down below in the comments. I do try to answer most of them if you are new around here. But yeah, so that is kind of where we're at with the plane. I will try to show some gameplay footage here in the next couple of episodes. If you guys haven't seen, or you guys aren't in our Discord, I do try to hop on every now and then and boot up a Stormworks server so you guys can mess around and try to, dock your own planes to the carrier. I don't really have a set schedule for that, so don't really ask me for one. But if you are in the Discord, I don't really, I don't make an announcement of it. I'll just be in VC and or voice chat, and you're more than welcome to join. Sometimes the mods do that as well. You're more than welcome to join them also. Please guys, don't bug them though. Like they're not there to be bothered. Like they're there to kind of make the server friendly and make sure people are following the rules and stuff, but they're not there to just build stuff for you and answer questions and stuff. I know the mods are good builders and they're smart, but please do not just think they're there to answer your pings and stuff, because they're not. But, if you do need any, questions about the server, or, concerns about rules or anything like that, that would be a good thing to bother them. But don't bother them about Stormworks builds, guys, please. If they offer your help, that's different, but they're not really there to help you guys with your Stormworks builds. The rest of the community is more than helpful enough. That's kind of what I try to make the server about, so it's a good place to learn. We've got a lot of really, really good builders, and I try to keep it pretty open-minded and friendly for a lot of the newer people. So definitely just shoot your question out in chat. But anyways, again, I am rambling. Enough of that. I'm definitely not going to keep those ropes. They don't need to be there anywhere. That's just a silly, stupid detail. But I do think it's looking pretty good down here. Random gauges on the backside there. I don't know what those are for, but I can tell you they're not there anymore. So I must have deleted them. But the other thing that will change dramatically down here is this kind of piping setup. This wall will actually get moved back. I talked about this a little bit in the last episode. This wall is going to get pushed back, not in this episode, but later down the road. And we're going to get an EMP in there. So going back to my conversation of this will have an EMP or has an EMP, that's where it's going to go. So anyways, the rest of this is looking pretty good. I'm just going to go around now, and we're just going to put random junk all over. And I'm thinking the first thing that I want to add is maybe some wheel chocks and, just random maintenance garbage like that down here that you wouldn't really want to, that you need to have on hand, but not really, you know what I mean? But anyways, just a bunch of junk down here. Like I said, just a bunch of junk. So I'm going to move those wheel chocks. We're going to throw some equipment elsewhere. But other than that, that's more or less most of the building we're going to get done in this episode. I know I said we mostly were just going to do this and a little bit of plumbing. We didn't really do too much plumbing, mostly just kind of putting the tanks in place. But this is kind of, in my mind, I wanted to spend a little bit of extra time on this just because this is one of the main entrances to the ship, as funny as that is to say. Well, I know I keep saying ship, but plane. And that's because generally you're not going to enter a plane like this on the cargo ramp unless it's parked and loading cargo. They're not going to just leave the cargo ramp open. So you're going to enter it through some sort of maintenance bay, that kind of thing. So I did want to make this kind of a little bit more detailed. Plus this plane is absolutely massive. So we have the space to do stuff like this. And I wanted to do stuff like this because I don't get to do that on a lot of the other builds. So it's just kind of something that I wanted to do. And I think it's just a fun little detail that, nobody really asked for, but I also think nobody's really going to be complaining about. So I'm not going to really bore you. I'm just going to throw, you guys have seen me do this before. They're just random boxes, ropes, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to bore you. We're going to skip right to the end of the episode here. And I've got a couple minutes of live footage for you guys to kind of check out. So, all right. And get this big monster spawned in. And we will just kind of walk around real quick. We'll go through our little maintenance bay. You guys can see I added a nice little light and a ramp so we can get up here nice and easy. And there's a couple pumps to fill that in. Got a bunch of ropes for recharging. And I added some equipment in this hallway off camera. Again, I didn't really want to bore you guys with all that. So this would be the entrance to the second floor. That'll probably stay locked most of the time, as well as this. This is going to obviously change a little bit, but we'll head up into the cockpit here. And I did a little bit of work off camera, still not really put together at all. But the cockpit is, I don't know. I've been kind of procrastinating, I guess, because there's a lot of logic to it, and I don't mind doing the logic, but it's a lot, and I want to make sure I do a good job, and it takes a long time. So, it is what it is, but we'll get there. You guys will see that in some coming episodes, and you can see that I have some little microfighters on the plane wing. Those are not going to be the actual ones. I'm going to build my own dedicated microfighter. I just threw those on for looks. I also started messing around with a new landing gear. You guys can see it right there. That's still not the finalized version, so it'll change a little bit. But you guys can see we're up and flying nice, and it's pretty easy. This thing's very easy to control. We can control our speed very easily too. I will get flaps in here to kind of help that even more. But we're just going to make sure that we are trimmed out correctly so I can walk around a little easier. And we'll head down here. Just check this kind of little bay out again during flight. Put some parachutes down here so you can ditch the plane if you really want. Probably not a great idea, but it's an option, and I wanted you guys to have that option. So there's equipment down here for all of that, and I think the rest of this looks more or less good enough. I mean, again, a lot of this will change, so I do like our little screen there. I do need to paint those lights. Looks like we had a little damage there. That's all right. Let me get the lights back on for you, and I'm just spamming glow sticks like an idiot. Must have forgot that I wasn't recorded. I don't even know what I'm doing in this footage right now, but you guys are seeing that clearly 2 of my brain cells are firing, and they are saying that we need to throw all of these glow sticks out of the plane. But yeah, guys, that's all the building I have for today. As you can clearly see, the brain was not really up to any more in this one. So thank you so much for staying to the end. I really appreciate the support. If you guys like this build series, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. The support really helps the channel, and the channel is only here for you guys. So I'm only building these things for you guys. I enjoy building. I enjoy seeing you guys use them. But yeah, anyways, I guess we'll head back up here. We'll look around a little bit more before I say our final goodbyes. But yeah, I guess I really wanted to just say thank you. The channel's been doing really well lately. I know you guys seem to like this build quite a bit, which I guess kind of puts the pressure on as to how we're going to trump the next one. But yeah, it's all right. I think maybe we'll just turn into the carrier man and keep building carriers. But I can't wait to see some of your guys' build challenge submissions. Don't forget to check out our Discord down below. I will have more info about the final date to get that in soon, hopefully in the next couple of days for you guys. This is all I got for this one. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.